Okay, so this is a bit of a VR for Forest Prepper. It's 500 subs. Well done, mate. It's an amazing number. And can't wait to see you keep climbing up the ranks. So you've asked us to show us how we hang a tarp and some of the knots we use. Sorry, it is hot today. So I'll hang up my tarp and I'll show you what I do. So on one end, you can see, hopefully that's in focus, you can see the loop that I put in. That's better if I can see myself. So I've got a loop in here around the tree, and I feed the line through the loop. That's one end. And then the other end, I'll show you the knots that I use. So back in a second. So I'm running the ridge line through the center mounts. Sometimes I'll use carabiners on here, but this time I'm just going to go sort of a slightly lighter route and use these center ones. I don't do the ends because these are going to use prusik to pull these tight. So bring you around here, and let's see if we can get things stable looking here. So we're going to go onto this tree. Okay, so what I do is I loop it around the tree once, and then I loop the line over top of itself, and I'm going to go around the tree a couple times and just keep pulling itself tight. And this helps to pull the line. And you don't really have to do any great fancy knots. Just need to get the rope around. And then back over the main line again. Pull it tight. Around the tree again. And pull it tight. And then I just loop it on itself, and then just do a couple of quick release hitches And that will hold things tight and should. Hopefully you can see it's a bit of a mess, I must admit. But I don't like to do a whole bunch of fancy knots because I don't know too many, to be honest. I've tried a bunch of them, and some of them seem to be more complicated than they're really worth. For me, I found that this was the best method to get this up, and it puts a fair bit of strain on here and holds the tarp just fine, to be honest. It probably could do with being a little bit higher up, but the ground is quite low here in terms there's a bit of a valley, a bit of a dip where the hammock's going to hang, so no need to get it too crazy high. So I'll get this sorted. I need to dig up my prusik, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with those. So I'll bring you back in a second. Okay, so these were the first prusiks that I made. And it's just a double overhand knot, and it you know, does the job. What I found was these were just a touch short, so I made some slightly longer ones, although to be fair they're not that much longer. These ones though, I did a little bit different. I used a double fisherman's knot, so these should be able to slide. Not that you need them to, but they can. They're a little bit adjustable. I've glued it here. I melted them there. So you can shorten them if you wanted to. You wouldn't need to. But these were simple to make. They're not going to come apart. So 2 of those. And 2 small carabiners. These are going to go onto the tarp, which is attached to the loop, which has been tied onto the line. So I'll do that now. Okay, so here's the ridge line. Got the prusik. The way that I do mine is I use the knot first, and I spin it around 3 times. And then, probably can't see that very well, my hands are in the way. You basically just want to work it and dress the prusik. Let's see if I can give you a better view of that. Will it zoom or will it focus? Probably not. Let me see. Shoddy camera ship, sorry. There you go. So it's been looped around 3 times, dressed up nice and neat, and then you just simply adjust it as you need it. So let me zoom you back out here. I've already got the carabiner on the tarp. So as with prusiks, no pressure at all, and it slides. Lock the carabiner. Pull that tight, and job's done. And that's all there is to putting that up. That's all I do. So I've used a loop at one end. Let me reposition things here. So I've used a loop down at one end. That means no knots down there. You could also use a carabiner or something like that if you wished. Sometimes I do. The other end, I'll try and do a better demonstration of how I do that, but you know, it's around the tree, over itself, back around the tree the opposite way, over itself, back around the tree. Do that as many times as you can. I only got 3 out of this one because of the length and the size of the tree. And each time you're pulling it progressively tighter and tighter. It also has the advantage of making sure that the line is centered on the tree and not off to one side. So again, at that end it's just a couple of slip knots that come out fairly easy at the end of the day. There's not a lot of load on this really. And then on the tarp itself, 2 prusiks. That's it. And then the only other thing is guying it out to the ground, and that's just a matter of standard lines going out to some pegs. I'm not going to carve my own pegs on this trip. I brought some titanium pegs with me, kind of needed for this area because if you've been to this campsite, to this location, Forrest has, Paul, you know how much flint there is here. Nothing goes into the ground, not easily anyways. So that's it. So yeah, thanks very much, and good luck in keeping your numbers, and can't wait to see your numbers grow immensely. Thanks very much for your videos as well, and like, subscribe, and all that other stuff, different places here, down there. And I'll put some links and stuff maybe in the description for things. Definitely to Forest Prepper's page. Thanks. See ya.